I don't want to get too carried away because it's only a friendly, and the lad only played 45 minutes. But I have to say, what a gem we have in young Lenny Yoro, guys. He was phenomenal today, from his passing distribution, his speed, his agility. He was just fantastic, mate. And I'll be honest with you, I think with both Lenny Yoro and Martinez in central defence this season, I think we're going to be absolutely solid.
Who did he play alongside for those 45? Was it Martinez? It wouldn't have been Martinez. Who would it have been?
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans. Johnny's still going, isn't he, Johnny Evans?
He's still going, yeah, and he was solid today. I think he signed a 1-year extension to his contract, so we've got him for another year. But he again was solid, guys. But Lenny Yoro really stood out to me today, as did young Diallo. Diallo was brilliant on the wing today. So, feeling really optimistic about the season ahead, guys.
Freddie, did Jadon Sancho play?
Sancho played, but he was disappointing again. Just really disappointing, guys. I mean, look, everybody was talking about how well he played last season in Germany, but you need to understand, I mean, the pace in Germany, it's not as quick as, the game isn't played as fast as what it is over here, and he was just disappointing again, guys. I can't really see him getting much game time for United next season on the basis of what I saw today, to be honest with you.
Are you concerned, Freddie, and you're probably going to say no here, but how young the team is looking? I mean, a lot of your superstar players now, all youngsters, aren't they? Garnacho and Kobe Mainu and Højlund up front. You just mentioned this Lenny Yoro, who's definitely going to start games as well. Now, potentially Sancho could get some minutes as well. Diallo, you just mentioned. It's a young team, isn't it?
It is young. It is a young team, you're right, spot on, but I'm not concerned at all. If anything, I'm really excited. I mean, you've got Kobe Mainu, absolutely fearless, mixing it up with the very best. You've got Garnacho, had a really good season last season. So, look, guys, and obviously Højlund, who's going to come on strong, and then we've got young Xerxes, who's going to be joining us as well. So, it's a young team, but a really exciting team at that, guys. So,
and Amad Diallo scored as well, did he?
He did, yeah. He was he scored our first goal, and he was really, really dangerous throughout the course of the first 45 minutes. Really, really good. So, encouraged by what I've seen and really looking forward to him next season for sure.
Freddie, those are all the good parts. Let's get to some negatives if we can, please. It's not all good stuff with United, is it? Marcus Rashford, what's the situation with him? Obviously looked horrendous season last year, so much so he wasn't in the England squad, and he would have been a banker, I think, for most people to have made the Euros. It looks like there could be an exit door for him. Paris Saint-Germain are sniffing. What's the situation, you think, with Marcus?
Yeah, that's it. Look, was concerned. I mean, I had a really, really bad season last season, and everybody thought he was going to kick on last season after scoring, 17 or 18 Premier League goals the season before. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned with him. I really am. But in saying that, look, we've made some really good signings so far. We've got a lot more strength and depth. So I'm not as concerned about the situation with Rashford as what I was before we started making all these signings this season, to be honest with you. So,
it does sound positive. I mean, if you can get Mason Mount fit and other players as well that maybe underperform, just performing at just a higher level, just a bit, could be a good season for United. Thanks for the call, Freddie. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you. Rashford's an interesting one, isn't it? Do you feel like, obviously, if it's the team now, Xerxes signed, Højlund signed, Garnacho, do you think Marcus Rashford starts in a United best 11?
It's the impossible question. I have no idea because I don't know what Marcus Rashford you're talking about. If you're talking about the Marcus Rashford that's played for the United the season before last, where he scored 30 goals,
their best player.
He won he was England's top goal scorer at the World Cup, for example. Then yes, he would start for Manchester United. He represents the club very well. He is Manc born and bred, as they like to sing, and he is certainly capable of playing well for Manchester United and being the personality and goal scorer of that team. If it's Manchester United, Marcus Rashford from last season, then no, absolutely, he's nowhere near it.
So bad, isn't it?
It's
so bad. Do you think
bad.
he just needs to go? I mean, do you feel like he just needs a fresh start somewhere?
The trouble is, I don't know where he would go.
I know I keep saying Paris Saint-Germain, but the only reason I say that is because he's a high-profile player, isn't he? He's Marcus Rashford. He wants to be at a big club. Paris Saint-Germain kind of fit that mould, don't they, as a big club.
But if you're Paris Saint-Germain, do you want this version of Marcus Rashford? Are you looking at Marcus?
No, but they'll think they can. Luis Enrique will think he can get the old Rashford out of him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I really don't know, because his Premier League options, I don't think there are many for him, because the clubs that he would get into, obviously he'd get into the majority of Premier League teams, But the clubs that he would get into, he wouldn't want to play for. Like, he obviously doesn't want to go and play for Bournemouth or whoever else.
You don't have to go that far down. Do you go that far down?
What I'm saying, I'm just using Bournemouth to demonstrate the point. Obviously, he gets into the vast majority of Premier League teams, but they wouldn't suit him.
No,
but the teams that he would want to play for, he doesn't get anywhere near. He doesn't get a look in. Like, I think he would like the idea of running down the wing at the Bernabeu, but he doesn't get a look in.
No.
So I really don't know. I think what he needs to do, really, I think he's at the right club, but he just needs to have a top season. He really does need to perform. And if I'm frank, Ade, I don't think he will.
Yeah, it's a shame.
How high did you rate him?
A lot, but I can only go on what have you done for me lately. And unfortunately, what he did for me lately wasn't much. What's good? Fantastic song. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Lewis, a Manchester United fan, has got in touch as well. Lewis, on that, you probably just heard us talking about Marcus Rashford there. What do you think his future is at the club?
Hi guys, happy birthday as well.
Hey, there you
Thank
go.
you, mate.
Happy birthday, mate. Listen, Rashford should be sold, for my opinion. That season last year was atrocious. All he's done in the last 4 or 5 years for me, he had a 3 or 4 month hot streak, purple patch after the World Cup. That's it. We should cash in on him. We could get good money for him. We should sell him. We should sell Sancho as well. Just to quickly, before I talk about United, guys, Lukaku's quite interesting chat. I would have him as United's biggest flop in recent sort of last 10, 15 years. At that sort of signing fee, what was it, 75 million I think he paid for him? He's a flat track bully. A lot of his goals are just against poor opposition or in nothing games or nothing goals. I'd get the 4th goal and a 4-0 win in injury time. It means nothing, those sort of goals. And remember that City he missed in the Champions League final against City last season? It was like...
Yeah, the header. I was there for that game.
Or 3 yards out, just head it and he heads it straight at the goalkeeper.
We've seen that time and time again though, Rob, haven't we?
No, but that's Lukaku for you. Don't make the fall by stats. Oh, look at the goals you've got. You've got to look a little bit deeper.
Oladipo.
Listen, right, United have signed a couple of youngsters. That's a good start, and we've cleared a couple, 1 or 2 of the deadwood out. There's still a lot what needs to be done there at United. Their strategy going forward under Ratcliffe looks like they want to buy youngsters. So gone are the day of us getting a Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a Ronaldo, a Cavani, someone who's world-class or in their early, mid-30s coming in. I think those days are gone. Or £100 million signings. I don't think we'll be seeing United doing that, because we've got to watch FFP as well. I think they're going to go down the road of youngsters, potential, could be good, late teens, early 20s, or you've never heard of them and just take a gamble. I think that's the way we're going. But we need more. We need a lot more. We need more goals up front. We need more in the midfield. And we need more defensive options. So there's still a lot of work to be done there for the ins and the outs. We've got rid of Martial, which is good. He was at the top of my list of deadwood to go. We got rid of 1 or 2 others.
Rob, do you think that this new approach from Manchester United, do you think that this new approach from Ineos is going to signify a new dawn? Getting your business done early, signing young players?
Yeah. It is a new dawn. It's a new dawn, and I think Ten Hag's on thin ice as well. I think even though they've extended his contract by another year, I think if we have a bad start, it could be sacked by Christmas easily if we're nowhere in the league or we're out of the Europa League. So United next season... I want to be optimistic. We've got the Charity Shield coming up in a couple of weeks. First bit of silverware out for grabs. I want us to home form's got to improve next season. We lost about a dozen games at Old Trafford last season in all competitions. So that home form needs to improve. We need to score more goals. We need to have a good European campaign, because realistically, top 4 is our best. We can open the league. League Cup, FA Cup, that's always an option. We've just won both of those in the last 2 seasons, and a good run in Europa League. Maybe that's our best route into Champions League, the season after, is win the Europa League. So I want to be optimistic, but there's still a lot of work needs to be done. I know the window's only been open 2 weeks, so we've got plenty of time still. But Ten Hag, for me, should have been sacked. The FA Cup saved him, I think, topped his credit up, and they looked around clearly. They didn't fancy anyone else. But I think if you have a bad start, he could be gone. If it's not by Christmas, it'll be the end of next season, and they'll want to get their own man in. Because at the end of the day, Ten Hag's not their man, is he? So, but, the pre-season, not great so far, results, lots of work to be done. But I want to be excited for next season. I really do. I want us to have a good season, finish higher up the league, win another trophy. But, yeah, let's see. But get rid of more deadwood. But Rashford should have gone for me.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.